So, there's another new NBA Playgrounds patch come through. It's out on PC. It's also now out on PlayStation 4. I haven't downloaded it yet. I will need to do that. And it's another big one, Ben. It's 35 new players have joined the roster, including players like Julius Irving, Kevin McHale, let's see, Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumas, John Havlicek, let's see, Steve Nash, Yao Ming, Joakim Noah, Muggsy Bogues, Manute Bol. So they got some big names, past and present, in there. So and Iguodala's back in the game now. Mark Price, Ginobili's in this one. So Adrian Dantley, Avita Sabonis, Bob. Yeah, I'm just looking and just picking names out at random because wherever you look, there's just so many great names to go. And Kyle Korver's another current one that's been added, and Ginobili, of course. Nick Young, Robin Lopez, Serge Ibaka. So they've really just been going hard and expanding that initial roster and getting some of those admissions in there. They've also got players who played for a second team, like Rondo is also available on the Celtics now. Kevin Durant on the Thunder, controversial. Derrick Rose in Chicago. They've also added the Seattle Supersonics now, so Peyton and Kemper there on the Supersonics.
Sweet.
They've also added a Playgrounders team, which includes some YouTubers, including iPod King Carter and QJB, a couple of others, five of them, so that's really cool. Playgrounds in Madrid and Chicago have been added, and there's also tournaments in those new playgrounds, as well as Venice Beach and Seattle. Previously, Venice Beach and Seattle were unlocked after you finish the main tournament, but there's no actually tournaments for them. Now there is. And some new animations for dunks, crossovers, and finger rolls. And they've made some further adjustments to some timing, execution for, the patch systems team, visual effects, fix, miscalculations, shot attempts with long animations. So they've continued to tweak the gameplay as well as add the new content. So once again, it's a fantastic thing that Saber Interactive are doing with their game.
Yeah, again, we've credited them and praised them in recent episodes, and given how substantial that update sounded, more credit where it's due in that sense. So, well done to them, and the engagement that they're doing with the community in that sense to get the game to where potentially to see where it can be and all that stuff. So,
definitely,
hats off to them.
And I did write an article earlier in the week, the Monday tip-off, talking about how in the group, unfortunately, there has been some toxicity as far as people have been giving good feedback, and others have really been kind of getting on them, jumping down their throats about it, which is a bit disappointing to see. I think some people get a bit too passionate about defending the game against what is actually valid feedback and expressed very politely. But again, Matthew Karch himself has been awesome about the feedback and taking it on board. He's come out and said, hey, look, it's all valid suggestions. We're not going to shout down anyone. So I do feel as gamers we need to do the same, because a community that's... It's funny because usually when I talk about constructive feedback, I'm talking about it, and I said this in the article, I'm coming at it from the other angle, where I'm saying, you're being too toxic and negative. There's also toxicity in being too positive and refusing to let anybody speak negatively or offer constructive criticism. So it works both ways. That everyone needs to speak honestly and to be able to speak their mind. So it's not that anyone's getting banned or anything. Again, Saber and Matthew Karch himself are handling it very well. It's just some of the people are getting a bit overzealous in the defense of the game. And it's, they've got different impressions and different experiences with the game, so that's fine. It's just we all have to remember that, we have our own responses to the game, we've got our own opinions, and also there's always going to be a disconnect between online and offline gamers as well, as far as the experience, so it's, it wouldn't be a gaming community without some kind of controversy, would it?
Yeah, that's true.
But at the very least, Saber themselves are doing great work with the game. It continues to evolve and get better. I've been dragging my feet on doing a video review, and I think that's actually going to be for the best at the end of the day, because they've added so much to the game that now I think I'll be able to do a review that is able to give a really a great overview of the game and comment on it. Not have to do a second review where I'm talking about all the updates. So having had a couple of updates, it's actually going to be I guess we got a better idea of what their vision for the game is, and especially after the game of feedback that they've taken on board so readily and whatnot. So yeah, I'll just have to try and get that video review done, and then who knows, the next patch might also make that review obsolete again. I have to do another follow up, but looking forward to downloading that update and getting some of those players. The other thing that I noticed is if you've got a player that's maxed out to gold, I didn't know this, and it's good to know, is that if you get the XP on a repeated card in the pack, that XP goes towards your level instead of their level. So,
Okay.
which then allows you to level up quicker, and you get a new pack every time you level up. So, even if you're even getting repeated players, and that's actually something they've also addressed in the latest patch, reduced the probability of receiving duplicate cards in card packages. So, thumbs up there as well. But if you do, and they've already been leveled up to gold level, the XP goes to your overall level, which then goes towards new packs as well. So, yeah,
That's cool.
it's very well handled in that respect.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that way the XP for the players isn't just going into the void of the the players already being upgraded. So no, that's definitely a smart way of handling it. So yeah, they've done a. I still feel that it's not quite on the level of your NBA Street or NBA Jam, those classics. That's a very high standard though, but it is, to use some NBA Jam parlance. It's heating up at the moment, if you will.
Nice. Yes.